standards, right? The code SP46 2003. This especially right, this is drawing practice book for schools and colleges. Engineering drawing practice. Engineering drawing means it's generalized. It covers right most of the topics of machine drawing and production drawing, the conventions, standards. Okay. So whatever books we have, right, the standard textbooks, they are different. Means they take reference from this book. Means they take the convention standards from this book and they prepare the book so that right, it is kind of covering the more information. That is the textbook. But actually from where they refer, right, that is this is the standard. Okay. So in India, right, most of the drawings, whatever they prepare, unless otherwise MNC, right, Indian companies, right, they take this BS, right, SP46 as a standard to draw the drawings, especially for preparing the blueprints. Okay, just see this book. I already shared the PDF copy with all of you. Okay, just before the starting the class that I shared. Please explore that one. You'll get some idea. Okay. I mean, sometimes the textbooks, right, for more clarity or something, like they may change a little bit the conventions, some lines or all those things. Okay. So, right, but actually, what exactly is the original is there in this book, whatever is available. Okay. So I think already you know what is sheet size, right? So you see this is the A4 size. What you see, what you know, right? The standard A4 size sheet book you write. So double size is that is A3. Even double size to A3 is A2. Okay. So like this is the just what is that size of the drawing sheet. Okay. So generally they make drawing sheet of this size, right? The standard this ratio also such a way that when they're cutting the paper, right, to convert to A0, A1, right, there should not be any wastage of any paper. Okay. So the ratio of the length and the width is such a way that when you fold the sheet, you're going to the other standard size. Okay. Suppose A0 you fold into 2, then you get 2 A1 sheets. A1 if you fold into 2, then you get 2 A2 sheets. A2 sheet you fold, then you get 2 A3 sheet. Okay. And if you fold A3 sheet, then you get 2 A4 sheets. So it is like that. Okay. So this is to avoid the wastage of the sheets. So this is the standard size. Okay. So right, is a standard ratio, right? I think it's the 1:2 root 2 or something is there. 1:2 root 2 or some size is there. 1:1 by root 2 or something is there. You can explore that when the book it is there. So means which ratio will allow you to right convert this size. Means again the ratios are same. Okay, so it's not going to change. So A0 if you say length and width, right? What is the ratio is there? A1 sheet also will be of same ratio. Okay, again A2 side also the length may be less, but the ratio is same. There will be a little bit changing the dimensions. Okay, not exactly the thing, right? But it is more or less like same size. Okay, so right as you're asking again, so try to use the A2 sheet. This is a standard size sheet for machine drawing. Even you go to industry. Okay. When they're making right assembly drawings and all of them, they'll be using a very big sheets, but it is right even bigger than the A0 sheet. Okay. But whatever is a part drawing people do, it is on A2 sheet. Even in our engineering machine drawing, right, even assembly drawings also you can manage in the A2 sheet one side. Okay. Again, this is the standard sheet layout from the book, right, BA standard, which I have shared with you. Okay. So no need to draw this much complex lines, but just for giving you an idea only, right, I have given. Only thing you remember, left side border is having more width. Almost double than the other sides. Okay, remaining all sides it is less. This internal border, right? Left side they leave more space. That is the only thing you remember. And bottom right side you are having some blocks. Again, this block also is having standard dimensions. Okay, if you're using a A3 sheet, you will not be able to follow the same size. Okay, but if you're using a A2 sheet, or right, especially if you're using a A1 sheet, then that size right fits well in the drawing sheet. Okay. And right, I want to tell you one thing. Okay, so this numbering is there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and A, B, C. Okay, so these are two, right? Because these are the very big drawing sheet and a blueprint. Suppose you want to say some component, you have drawn so many figures here, here and there, here and there. Okay, so to represent that one, right? Only the numbers are useful. Okay, so it tells the position of the drawing, part drawing. You make some component right here. You can say that the position of this component is 2A. You refer that one. Okay, so this particular component is there at the 2A position. Means people can understand. So this is a 2B it is. 2B. Okay. B it is at this position. Okay. Something is there here. It is 5C. Okay. So something is here. It is 6A. Something is here. It is 4A. For that purpose, the numbering they give. Okay. Otherwise, in our case, it's not required because right, whatever number I am giving in the assignment problem, right, same number you mentioned, just it's sent to that one. Okay, this is the standard, right? For the especially this is for production drawing. Okay, the same thing you can use for machine drawing also. Okay, but because I'm telling why it is for production drawing, right? They mentioned these tolerances, finish, and all those things are there, right? And also, right, you cannot mention here. Okay, I don't know why they're given this one. Okay, because it's not a uniform surface everywhere, right? Tolerances changes dimension to dimension, even finish changes to surface. Okay. Maybe they may give, right, because I didn't remember exactly. Maybe they may give all the different tolerance ranges available in the drawing sheet or total finishes available in the drawing sheet. That may give some idea, right, whatever machines are required. Okay, maybe for that purpose, but I'm not sure about that. Whatever is there in the book, I think I shared some standard template, right, with you. So in that template, just check that one. Okay, so that is a very standard template, right, prepared by Thorat sir. Okay. Because I got that sheet layout from the Thorat sir, so that he has made more. It is close to the industry as well as useful for the academic purpose. Okay, this I got from the book, some book, maybe a machine drawing book. Okay. Even if we check this BA standard, right, it may be different, not exactly this way. Okay. I didn't remember from where I got this, either from this textbook or the reference book, right? You please explore this and you get some idea. But this size, right? This 170 mm, 65 mm, no need to follow that size. There's a standard size. If you're using, generally it's on A1 sheet. Okay, you can size reduce it and write whatever is the important details that you can provide. So if you want to ask something, right, don't put anything in chat box because I'll not be able to see, right, while sharing my slides. You can switch on your mic and you can ask me. Nothing. And here, right, we use first angle projection. So what you see drawing here, right, the symbol, is it first angle projection, third angle projection? Any one of you please respond. You're seeing a symbol right there. Is it first angle projection or third angle projection?
So first angle.
So how are you telling it is a first angle projection? Based on what?
Sir, the screen is placed behind the object.
What is that?
Sir, the opaque screen is placed behind the object.
Nothing is there. I'm not showing any screen or anything. Na? So why you say screen? Where the screen? Where you see the screen? Nothing is there. No screen. You don't see any plane. Nothing. No XY line. Nothing is there.
Sir, it is the symbol for first angle projection where the
No,
circle.
no, that's what you should not say that one. So why it is first angle projection? Any one of you please explain why it is first angle projection?
Sir, for first angle projections, we assume that the object is kept on the first quadrant and the axis act as a mirror plane,
Okay.
like projection
Then-
planes.
Okay.
So if the object is kept on the first quadrant, the y-axis will act as a side view, and the x-axis will act as top view.
Okay. No, I'm asking how this symbol is first angle projection. My question is how this symbol represents the first angle projection.
Sir, because object is between viewer and a projection.
No, there is no viewer, no projection here, right?
Means sir,
You
arrow
have
that
one-
one.
You have one symbol like this. Okay. Arrow, just I want to ask question, right? That's why I put arrow, not for me to write remind, okay, to ask this question. Okay. Not more than that one. You got it, na? It is there like this symbol. Okay. Now, how you are telling this is the first angle projection?
Sir, because right hand side view is on left side. Sir, it is a frustum of cone, and on left side it is the right hand side view.
Exactly. Okay. So you can take anything as a front view. You take this as a front view. Then if you see from left side, okay, and you're drawing the side view on right side. See, you're seeing from the left side, this is side view. Drawing on the right side of the front view, that is the first angle projection. Suppose if you make a symbol like this, what is this? This indicates first angle projection, third angle projection.
Third angle.
Third angle, sir. Third.
This is third angle projection. Why? Because you see, you're not seeing dotted line here. Suppose if I keep a dotted line here, then it will become first angle projection. Because I am seeing from the left side of the front view and drawn on the right side of the front view. Okay. But the moment I make this dark line, so if I have to see this dark line, as your friend mentions, the frustum of the cone, right? I have to see from right side. Then only I can see the two dark lines, circles. And I'm seeing from the right side of the front view. Again, I'm drawing the right side. That is third angle projection. Okay, this is first angle projection. Okay, so this is the difference actually, first angle projection and third angle projection. Always remember, when you see a blueprint, right, nowhere they'll mention this is the first angle projection or third angle projection. Okay. And when you have only two views, right, it is a confusing. You have to decide based upon, right, based upon this one. Okay, from which side you're seeing and the other view is where it is. Okay, so we assume one is the front view. You can assume any one of the thing is front view. Okay, so then you have to see other view as a side view, then see where exactly it is coming. Okay. So that is about this first angle. So it's all engineering drawing is about these minute things only. Okay, it is not about, right, so much like what you do in engineering drawing, right? No, I'm talking about, sorry, machine drawing, especially in the type of course, okay, which we are studying, right? Otherwise, all are engineering drawing only, whether you're studying engineering drawing, machine drawing, production drawing, right? Everything is engineering drawing, but in the course point of view, engineering drawing is more about solving the problems, okay? But machine drawing is more about the details, notations, conventions. Okay, understanding the why we are drawing each line. Okay, everything is having some significance. So you have to realize that one. And believe me, right, during this course, you try to understand each and everything minute details. Okay, without any ignorance. Because in future, you're a production manager or you're somewhere, you want to read blueprint, right? This will help you there in reading the blueprints more accurately.
Sir, in first case, if we draw smaller circle be dotted, then it become third line,
What is
third
it?
angle. Uh, sir, you have erased that one means. In first case, if we draw smaller circle with dotted line, then it become third line projection, third angle projection.
This is third angle. You're telling like this?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
This is third angle projection.
Okay, sir.
Because when you see this dot, this is the assume this is the front view. When you see dot in side view, when you're seeing from this side, right side, then only you see you don't see this face, so you have to draw the dot. So you're seeing from the right hand side, and again you're drawing at the right hand side. Okay, so then it becomes third angle projection. And if you have a three views there, then it's very easy to identify. Suppose you have views like this. Okay, so is the first angle projection, third angle projection? Any one of you? You know actually all these things you have done, but actually you didn't try to actually what exactly it means actually. So I think that is the reason you're not able to answer.
First angle, sir.
So how you're telling is first angle projection?
Sir, in first angle projection, we make diagrams on either side of the front view, and it is above that sectional line.
Okay. You tell me this one, what it is. The second one. The second one, what it is?
Sir, it is third angle.
How you're telling is third angle projection?
Sir, because side view will be adjacent to front view. And in third angle, the front view will be below the side line.
As your friend mentioned, right, there is the only simple thing to remember. Always you draw the side view adjacent to the front view. Okay. And top view and front view will be on the same projection lines, vertical projection lines. Then you know that. Okay. So, you know, right, these two are front view and top view. Okay. And from then you can identify which is front view, which is top view based upon the side view. Because as side view is here, so this is going to be front view. Okay, side view always it is independent. Okay, it will not have any on vertical projection line. It will not have any figures. Only it will be having an horizontal projection line. You will be having other views. The moment that is front view, this become top view. So you know, right? Above XY line front view is there. Then it is a first angle projection. Same thing is here. So this is the side view. The moment this is side view, this will become front view, and this is front view, and this is the top view. Okay. So top view is above XY line, that is the third angle projection. So I'm not going through, right, what is third angle projection. Maybe I may show some slide just for, I think, those who have not understand during their engineering drawing, right. I will show some slide, 1 or 2 slides if possible. Okay. So why I mean to say, right, you have to understand each and every simple concept. Okay. See, it is okay if you are not able to understand the complex concepts, if you are not able to remember some complex conventions, symbols, and all those things. But simple things, right, you should be able to understand very much clearly. So actually, right, I think I got this from 1998, but 2003 is the revised version, okay, which I shared with you. Okay, so the standard, I just check what is there, how the title block is there mentioned in it. So scales, right? Again, I think most of you know, right, what is scale. Otherwise, right, just you be aware of the scale size. What is full size? 1:1. Enlarged scales and reduced scales. Okay. 2:1, 3:1, 4:1 is enlarged scales. Means a smaller component you want to show it is a bigger. 1:2, 1:3, 1:4, like that, right? That is a bigger component you want to show it is a smaller one. Okay. Because engineering components sometimes they're very big in size. And you have to reduce. There is a difference in engineering drawing, right? Any dimension people give, but here, right, it depends upon actual component. The numbers will be there, and accordingly, you have to change the scale to show it on your drawing sheet. Okay. So here you see, right, these things most of you might know already. Okay, but you give attention to this third column, applications point of view. Okay, so right, in engineering drawing, right, mostly we use thick line and thin line, most of the cases, and axis we know how to represent. And right, even locus is required, right, trajectory is required, but I think many people just draw a simple line. Okay, but here it is not like that. Every line you observe carefully. I given this as assignment also. Okay, try to understand each and every line. So you see the first one, right? Thick line. Thick line is, right, used only for the visible outlines. Please remember, okay, it shows you it will help you in visualizing the actual component. Okay, so we always draw only the visible lines, thick lines. Okay, means when you're seeing a drawing, if you want to visualize, right, they don't want other lines to, right, interfere with your views. Okay, imagination. So always, right, there's a reason, right, they say it is visible outlines has to be thick lines. Okay, thin line is there, right? It's the most extensively used line, thin line. Okay, then engineering drawing, right, your coordinator might have said it is use H pencil. Okay, so that is good if you're using H pencil, but thing is, right, you cannot change the pencil time to time. Okay, so right, you practice using same pencil with changing the pressure. Okay, so you'll be able to draw the thick line and thin line. So that is possible only if you use the HB needle. Okay, if you're using a B, B2, B3, B4, B5, any needle, right, you'll not be able to draw the thin lines. I mean, like light lines, it goes dark. Okay, always use HB pencil. So H and B both are there in that one. So you can manage by changing the pressure. Okay, only H pencil means it is a light line automatically. B, the moment you're adding B means it becomes dark. So HB is you can draw, okay, both the light lines and thick lines both using that one. Okay, in that you see, right, again in B you have so many other things. B1, B2, right, I didn't mention about this B1. Actually, I mentioned about the graphite which they use in the pencil. Okay, here the B1, B2, B3 are different. Okay. The most commonly used is dimension lines. Okay, and important, significant. Okay, so it will help you in showing the dimensions correctly. Projection lines, leader lines, hatching lines. So this hatching line set you might have not used in your engineering drawing. Okay. Because when you cut the component and see the section, right, then only we use these hatching lines. I think maybe you might have used in sections, right? Sections chapter you might have used. In orthographic projections, you might have not used. Okay. Here, right, in orthographic projections, we use this hatching lines because whether they ask or not, most of the times you have to section the component and show the features clearly wherever is required. Okay. It will help you to show the features of the component clearly using this by sectioning. So other small applications are there. Okay, where at the end also I shown some picture with all the designations A1, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, right? I think some may be there, okay, some may not be there, but most of the things you get. So this assignment, whatever you are doing, right? The purpose of this assignment is to understand these things. Okay, don't ignore, don't just copy. Okay, please try to learn from that one. Okay, and you have to use in your next future sheets and assignments the same principles and conventions accurately. Okay. So this you use, right, not in regular components, when the sheet metals or some large components are there, okay, especially in assembly drawing and production, assembly drawing and production, like part drawing, right, there they'll be using this type of discontinuous, where you want to show some partial view or some discontinuity in the component, right, then you use this CNT. So hidden outlines, you know, right? I think is a dot is the dash thick. We call generally dotted lines, but actually it's not dotted. We will not have any dotted lines in engineering drawing. Okay, it's a dashed thick lines, hidden outlines. Okay, so if you observe carefully, right, we have easy to do the dot. So right, I think if you remember, you might have put dot everywhere. Either you're drawing the axis, center lines, even hidden lines. But actually, they are not the dots. They are the small dash. Okay. So the dash thick line for hidden outlines, and chain thin. Again, this is most commonly used, right, for center lines. Where most of the components will have some axis, some circle or something where you have to show some center line, holes and all those things, where you have to use this chain thin line. Again, it's not the thick line, chain thin line. Okay, convention changes significantly. Please remember, you might have ignored that during there, right? You see the G and J. Okay, only difference is the thickness. Okay, chain thin and chain thick. Okay, so but it is see the description. You observe these things carefully. Don't try to use just like that the lines. You have to be extremely careful. Okay, cutting planes. Okay, so cutting planes, right? Mostly it is like this. So chain thin, but at the end. But at the end, what you have, that will be darker. That is the cutting plane. Okay. So here, right, I think they are shown like this, right? Because they change the plane, section plane, right? Just they want to show that one, right? You can change the plane of the section from one place to another place in the middle of the component also. For that, right, they are shown that step. Okay, otherwise, this is a standard convention. So, the section plane you may have done actually using engineering drawing, right, for drawing the sections, but you may have not followed this convention. But here it is compulsory to follow the convention. At the same time, you have to show the arrow mark also. Here they are not mentioned, but actually arrow mark means from which side you are seeing. You cut some component, is there like this. You cut like this. Do you want to show from bottom side or top side? From top side you want to see, then you have to show the arrow mark like this. So means you cut the material and this is removed. Okay, only you are seeing from the top like this. Okay. And this is the retained portion and this is the removed portion. Top is the removed portion. Okay. So the arrow indicates that one. In which direction you are seeing that. Okay, and okay, so this J, right, they use when indications of lines or surface finish to which a special requirement applies. You know about knurling, right? Some knurling operation you're doing, or you are the handle is there which you have to provide some rough surface, right, with some thread from threading, like diamond threading and all those things. Okay. Or you want to provide some grip on that one. Means some special surface is required. Okay, which a special requirement applies. Okay. Then they keep this J. Okay, please remember that one. And the K also is significant. You see, it's a double chain thin, double dash, chain thin, thin line, double dash. These are very, very important. Don't ignore, because this will help you in reading the blueprints. Okay, chain thin, double dashed, outlines of the adjacent parts. Suppose in assembly drawing, right, you're drawing only main component one, but you want to show the mating part also. Okay. In that case, right, you're not supposed to show, because you're drawing only part drawing, you're not supposed to show the mating parts in dark lines. In that case, you have to use these lines. That indicates outlines of the adjacent part. Where is K1? K2 is, suppose the lever is there in a machine. Lever position can be at different positions, right? Depends upon where you oscillate. So to tell that one, that this lever will be at any place. Okay, so right, then they use this figure. I'm going to show you some drawing right, where you get some clear idea. You remember that K2, alternative and extreme positions of movable parts. Centroidal lines also have the same symbol. Okay. Here you see, I think the numbers, right? Somewhere you see the K2 here. Actual component is this one, but it is the extreme positions. So means it goes from here to there. Okay, means it. So it indicates that when you see it's the chain thin double dash. You see here they applied grip, right? So it is chain thin single dash but thick line. Sorry, chain thick. And chain thick it is. That indicates the grip. You see here, this is a symbol, this is the line. So it means it is not actually, they're showing only part of the component. They're not showing the complete component. It may not be required, just they're shown this line. So it means it is discontinued. The part is discontinued. Like this. Here also bottom you see is a bed or something, right? So they don't write line like this. So you have to use very. See, they mentioned K1. You see what is K1? Outlines of adjacent parts. The outline of adjacent, some other component is there actually. Okay, so that's why they mentioned is outline of the adjacent part. Okay, so just to give you an idea, right? Here you see is actually web. Okay, they want to show the cross section of this one. Means if you cut like this, how it looks. Okay, so these are different methods how to show the cross section. Same way we rotate the plane and show here. Okay, so you might not understand that, and while studying the sections, right, you will understand this one. So you see, right, how it is looking like a plus, how it is looking, why it is. Actually, they make cross section like this at the particular position. Okay, if you make cross section, then you rotate the plane. When you make cross section, right, the cross section is perpendicular to the what we are seeing. So we rotate 90 degrees and to make it parallel to our viewing plane. So you'll be able to see the cross section. Okay. So instead of showing outside, right, they're showing at same place. So here also some mistakes may be there, okay, but you follow whatever it means. Like while drawing, right, it's not possible for everyone to draw everything is correct. Here also some mistakes you can find, okay, and identifying some lines when drawing some lines. Okay. Yeah. So just please go through these things. Okay, so you get some idea. And thing is, right, while actual drawing the components, they will not mention clearly you have to do that way. But based upon these conventions, you have to draw those things. Okay. Especially in the examination side while doing, okay, so you have to follow all these conventions. Okay, marks are there only for that one. Okay. I may give very simple problems, simple things, okay, which you have to see and draw only mostly. Okay. Right, but still you have to follow all these conventions. Marks are only for that one.
Sir, why is F and I missing from the naming? I mean,
What is that?
Sir, can letter F and I is missing.
There it is here. Huh? EF. Maybe something is, I don't know exactly. Okay. Maybe some other line. Some language book. Okay, it becomes so lengthy that particular rows. Okay, just see the book. Otherwise, for some reason, right, they skip, which I am not aware of that one. Okay. See in the book, they will not give explanation. Well, actually, this is the problem they have, right? Something is missing, we will not be able to understand, but some reason may be there. Okay. And this is not convention. Also, please remember, this is only for indication. Actually, this they are given only H1, G1, G2, G3. Just show here on this figure. Okay, it's not a convention. Convention is this one. This, and whatever is the right side. This is convention. Okay, so they given number only to represent over this, okay, so that you understand what exactly they are. Okay, only for the purpose. Okay. So, right, I think with this we stop here because already we are 5 minutes exceeded. Okay. So, we will meet again in next class. Okay. So, everyone please start doing your assignment and sheet 1. Okay. Okay, you have any doubts or anything clarification required, right? You can stay back and ask, otherwise you can leave the meeting. Thank you.